In terms of bowl practice, health-wise, you guys okay?
Yeah, right now we are. We're as good as we've been.
Coach, how much film have you been able to watch on Kentucky yet, and what stands out about them?
I've watched a good bit. I think that once their quarterback got hurt early in the year, the job they've done to adapt to their personnel, they're a much, much better team now than they were early in the year. And I think a lot of it is driven by them adjusting, and they're doing a lot of wildcat stuff. Their running backs are probably two of their better players. That's helped them because they've been able to run the ball, and I think that helps them on defense too. They're not out there as much. And, they got some young guys on defense, a couple linebackers that are good players. And so they're very formidable. It's like I said, you watch the tape, they could have won a couple more games. They definitely had every opportunity to beat Georgia, and we know how talented they are. So, it'll be a challenge.
Do you get something out of watching them play common defense, play Vanderbilt and Georgia?
I get something out of watching all of them, I hope. But the common opponent thing I don't think means a whole lot. You just kind of watch and try to get their base stuff and how you think they would adjust to your stuff, and then you go from there.
And that's because different things happen at different times of the year.
Sure. We're not the same team we were early in the year either.
Paul, any maybe lag or enthusiasm drop off the time the season ends and trying to get everybody back up to this point?
Well, you hope not. We wouldn't know right now. The practice is kind of an effort, but, we kind of had a goal. We adopted kind of midway through the year to try to get to 9. And it's like I told them the day after practice, we're this close. Now's not the time to relax. Now's the time to hit the accelerator.
How many times will you practice next week?
We'll let them go home after practice on the 21st. So how many that is. What's the 21st, Wednesday? Tuesday?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just days. 21st is when?
Wednesday. We're going to practice 8 out of the next 9 days.
Yeah.
Is there how do you handle it, trying to get some reps for guys for next year, including the fall?
We just try to get some of the younger guys ready for spring practice. So we'll take 2 periods at the end of every practice and work with the scouts. But most of our focus is on Kentucky.
Has Xavier been the tailback on the scout team mostly, or is
Who?
Xavier Gamp?
No, it's been all kinds of people. It's just different guys. He's played some, but it's a different guy.
How has he done? Sorry to
He's
tell
done
him.
well. We don't. He's running all other stuff. It's like we don't play against each other. I know people think we do all year, but we really don't.
Is it a little bit weird you played a lot of freshmen this year than you typically have? In terms
I
of
think the
guys?
freshmen were a little better players, and by need, we're still got a pretty young team, but there were some of the freshmen were pretty good players, as evidenced by, I saw where Parker's made several All-American teams now as a freshman, and he was one of our better players regardless of the class. So some of those guys, once Jay Hazel started playing, he played pretty good. The same thing with other guys. They just kind of fit in. Diedrich and those guys, we just kind of had to play.
A couple more for Coach.
I imagine that recognition for Parker speaks well for people who try to recruit against you and say you can't do anything with your offensive line.
Right. Well, Shaq Mason was pretty good last night too. I caught a little bit. He was playing pretty good. It's, all that's just a big misnomer anyway. If you're a good enough player, you'll go to the NFL. The system has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing.